Welcome back to Newtown Orchard. Today we're going to talk about how to supercharge your soil using biochar. What is biochar? Well, let me show you. To start with, biochar is simply wood. I use branches, logs that I've harvested out of the fence line that I'm clearing or out of the woods itself, the pasture, and we cook it. I use a pit. We're going to show you how to make this and we're going to talk about the benefits. To begin with, biochar is porous. It harbors microorganisms. It also will absorb nutrients in the soil into those pores, and that will break down slowly and return back to the soil. That prevents the nutrients in the soil from being washed away. The next thing it does is it retains water. So it maintains moisture in the ground, so you don't have to water as often, which is a beautiful benefit. The other item is it creates aeration. It also helps, because of the aeration, helps good drainage as well. What sounds like it conflicts, good drainage yet retains water, but because these are porous and these will hold on to moisture for a long time, it'll release that back into the soil. It'll actually promote in the soil phosphorus, potassium, the carbon, which is a benefit for those microorganisms. Earthworms are a good example. That's one of your, I guess, more of a macroorganism. And also it adds nitrogen to your soil as it continues to break down. You're going to need to jumpstart your biochar an agent that'll start the decomposition, the breaking down. You're going to need a nitrogen fixer. As a farmer, it's not uncommon for them to go out and pee on their compost pile or go out and pee on their char. And that's an excellent form of nitrogen fixer. That'll jumpstart the breakdown of the biochar. But another little less threatening maybe is fish plant emulsion. Fish emulsion, basically it's the same thing. It's meant to provide the nitrogen quickly into the biochar where it can start breaking down. How do you make char? Well, I'm going to use a pit. So if you come with me, we'll show you how to make it. All right, I'm going to start by burning this paper. That's what they sell you to fill with leaves. So I'm hoping that burning that paper will be okay. We'll get that started. Well, hopefully get started. Okay, time for a new lighter. I went back in and got a butane lighter. Very dry. Okay, so while that paper's burning, I'm going to get some of this small debris on this. You'll see I have multiple piles of wood. Smaller stuff here, we'll burn it first and let it, because it goes hot. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Wish I had my gloves. All right, as you can see, everything's burned down in that initial, and that went up fast. All the white on the outside of it is ash that won't be usable when we go to collect the biochar. What we want is going to be the dark wood, that's just cooked wood, in the middle. I'm now going to add the next layer. Okay, we're going to let that burn down a little bit, and then I'm going to start to smother it with the next layer of branches. So our goal is to smother each layer, putting out the layer below it. Give that a moment, and then I have another pile. I have two more piles to go, and then we're going to let that cook. I've got this big giant sheet of metal here, right in front of me, and we're going to take that once this gets going, and we're going to smother this whole thing. We're going to put this whole big metal sheet on top of this, and that'll make sure the air for the most part stays out and everything on the inside cooks. All right, that's a good sign. So we'll put the next pile on. I will say we have a burn pile in the back that when we let it burn, one of the things I'm going to do with it is before it's finished, I'll hit it with a hose and get as much biochar out of that as possible. All right, we'll go for the last pile. Again, we're going to give it a minute, and then I'm going to move this sheet metal. I'm going to need your help, Katie, because it's got a bit of weight to it. Okay. Okay. Voila! All right. We'll come back in probably an hour or so and check it out and see if we got biochar. So anyways, until later. Ready? Lift. Woohoo. Yeah, my face is all full of smoke. All right, what do we got? Nope, not done yet. All right, a lot less smoke coming out from underneath this metal sheet, this metal cover. So it gives a little more hope. It's been how many hours? 3 hours? Maybe? All right. Ready? Lift. Yeah.
Flipping it?
Yep, flip it all the way over.
Look at all the
Moisture on there. Got a little more white ash in there than I wanted. We're going to hit it with the hose and cool it down. And then we're going to let it sit overnight. Let it finish cooling down overnight. And then tomorrow we'll get in there and start pulling out the biochar and show you what biochar looks like. Where is me hose? By the way, we're doing it in a pit. You don't have to dig a pit, have a pit for it. For those of you who don't have a resource like this, so there are multiple methods of making biochar. And any of the big pieces that didn't get cooked, we'll put them aside, and next time we do biochar, we'll add it to it. Or when we do our hugelkultur raised beds, charred wood is excellent that goes into those hugelkulturs. So we may save it for that. This is my above ground char burn. You just let it burn for a while and then you hit it with the hose and you'll see what's left behind is the ashes wash away and what you got left is beautiful char. And we'll add that into our hugelkultur as we get that built. So stay tuned for that video as well. Let me show you the practical application, how we use biochar. I'm going to use a raised bed that I need to beef up anyways. It'll give you a good opportunity to see how I put the biochar into the soil. To start with, you really want your biochar to be fairly small pieces. Inch and a half, a little smaller would be fine. Pieces like this, if you had to, would work, especially if it still had carbon, wood in it, and it was not easy to break up. But this has been cooked very well. And as you can see, it just crumbles in my hand. So breaking this up into smaller pieces is really a preferred way of doing it. You don't have to, but it's preferred. As the biomatter below the surface had broken down, everything had settled. So I need to bring more dirt back in, more compost back in. But before I do that, I'm going to do another row of the biochar before my topsoil. So I'm just going to take it and spread it around. And it doesn't have to be too thick. And that's all I'm going to do. Now I'm going to put the layer of topsoil on top of this, and that'll probably be about 3 inches or so. Now, if you're working in a flower bed and you really don't want to layer it, you can mix it into the soil. If you can get it 2-3 inches below the surface of your topsoil, it works better. It doesn't dry out as fast, and it's putting those nutrients back into the ground. So keeping it in a moist environment is beneficial. All right. And there you have it. So, biochar below the surface, a couple inches if possible, 2-3 inches. A little lower would be fine. You can mix it if you have a really deep bed like this. You could do it in multiple layers and take advantage of it. This will really supercharge your raised beds. This will supercharge all your soil. I forgot the best part of all of this. The best activation agent known, urine. So here's a gallon jug of urine. And we are going to pour that on and let it sit for a day or so. Anyways, yeah, that's the fun part. You thought it was dirty. Yeah, it's dirty. Anyways, it's all good. Again, take care.